guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into an awaited video. I got to style 21 amazing lashes for SHOPMISSA for their new AOA Pro studio line. So if you're interested in the breakdown, the actual live modeling of the lashes and my thoughts, go ahead and keep on watching. All right guys, so the easiest way to approach this video, since it's 21 styles of lashes, I broke them down into 3 easy categories, pretty much light, medium, and full. Because when we're shopping for lashes, that's really what I have in mind. What style, how do I want it, for what occasion? So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and break down the claims because I think that this is the focal point for the line. So these are AOA Pro lashes. These are BIONIC MINK lashes. So this is an interesting term. They have layers, they're multidimensional. They're made using ion heating techniques to keep fibers soft, which I can attest to. They're soft, lightweight, flexible cotton band. The bionic silk is used for the fibers, which is a material that mimics the fluffiness and feel of mink, but 100% vegan and cruelty-free. AOA Pro lashes are super glamorous, soft, and luxurious. So with that in mind, I wanted to start with our first category, which is the light lashes. All right guys, so the first lash that I wanted to talk about in the light category is Iris. Now Iris is short, fluffy, playful. I would say that Iris is about anywhere from 10 mm to maybe 12 or 13 at the very top. But this is a lash that if you want something natural, fluffy, kind of like a lash extension, Iris is probably going to be your go-to for that style. So I feel like all of these lashes are very fluffy across the board. The major difference is the length and how the pattern kind of fans out. For this one, it's a little bit of like a spike, very subtle, and then you'll have the filler in between the spike, but they're not overly spiky. So I would say these are nice extension feel, gives you that fresh look without being too much. All right, number 2 on this light category is Aphrodite. And so this one, I feel like any lash that fans out and gives you that long cat eye is one of my favorites already, just because I enjoy that look in general. These are really nice. They're light. They almost remind me of the iconic Coco Lash, kind of wispy, pointy, but catty, if that makes sense. I feel like these are really, really nice. The length, I would say they start off at maybe like 10 mm. And they fan out to maybe about 12 to 13. So on these lashes, they are on the shorter side. You can still see the lash, so it's not like super tiny, but it's not hitting your eyebrow. So if you are afraid of a longer lash, but you still like that definition and fluffiness, I feel like these are going to be a staple to any makeup artist or any makeup enthusiast that really enjoys this type of lash. Next up, we have one of my favorites, Rhea. This one is, how do I explain it? If you really like clusters of lashes with a little bit of a space in between, that playful, that flirty, and length in your lash, you are gonna love Rhea. So Rhea is just the right balance of fluff, of length, and of wispies with, like I said, that cluster of lash. So I feel like these are, again, such a beautiful lash. Lengthwise, I feel like they are on the longer side. So they probably start out in the middle, maybe like 11 mm. They fan out to maybe about 14 mm in the middle, and then they remain about 14 or 15 mm on the side. So I'm speaking in terms because that allows us to kind of meet in the middle ground and understand how long a lash is. On the longer side would be probably your 20 mm, which probably for me would reach my eyebrow. So for me, it's super important to kind of give you the breakdown of the inside of the lash, the middle of the lash, and then the outside of the lash. Specifically, if you have smaller eyes like I do, I am very aware of lengths and how it fans out because it can make your eye a little bit heavier, and what we want is lifted, fluffy, and wispy. Next up, we have Hemera. This one is across the board the same length. So from the inner corner all the way to the way that it fans out, we have a one length throughout. I would say that this is maybe about 12 mm, 12 to 13. It's not super long. It's a lighter frame of structure. We do have a little bit of a cluster going on in between the lashes, but like I said, it is pretty fanned out pretty evenly. So it's not like you're missing little chunks, but you still see a heavier cluster in the middle of the design. So these are so beautiful. They are light, they're fluffy. They would really show the work if you're going to an event and you still have something on the eye. They're short enough to still lift the eye and give you that beautiful finish, but you're still going to be able to see your work. So these are definitely one of my favorites. Next up, we have Urania, and these are one of my favorites. These are light, but they are on the longer side. So I would say that the length is probably about 13 to 15 mm towards the middle of the lash. So you have about maybe 10 mm in the inner corner, fanning out to about 13 to 15, and then coming back to about 13. So it's a very nice structure as far as the pattern. It's fluffy, it's light. So even though you have a lot of volume and length, you can still see your work in the middle of all of this lashy goodness. So these are some of my favorites only because I feel like for any eye shape, but specifically for mine, small, these look amazing, and these are definitely one of my favorites. All right, so the next up on the light category, I'm actually wearing these today. These are Themis, and pretty much these are long as well as the ones before. I would compare Themis and Urania to maybe like sisters. They're both lengthy, they are wispy, but as you can see, you can still see my work, all of my eye shape. It actually allows the liner and the lift to happen. It's not too much where it's bringing down my eyes, and I don't have very big eyes. So these are probably my favorites if I want that light lashy look, almost like long extensions where it's still favorable and I can pop anything on the lid and it looks glamorous and gorgeous. So the next little category is still in the light category, but these are shorter. So the last section was probably between 12 to 15, 16 mm. These are still light, but to me, these feel more of like a 10 to maybe 13 mm. Once you see them in the packaging, it makes sense. They just look shorter, but they're beautiful as well. So starting off this category is Tyche. This is cute, cuddly, they're clusters. It's all seeming like one length across the board. So it starts and you have that nice fan, but because they're little baby clusters, I just feel like this is a cute, playful lash. I really enjoy it. You're still going to get that beautiful lift on the eye for all of these, but these just overall feel cute and cuddly and just adorable. Next up, we have Bia, and these are so luxurious, full, and just wow. These remind me again of the iconics from House of Lashes, that kind of like spiky but clustery feel. These are again some of my favorites. I'm going to continue to say that because I really enjoy all of these styles. But these again allow you that luxy feel, that very full lash line that again, one eyeshadow, no eyeshadows, pop these on and you're looking glamorous. Next up, we have Harmonia, and let me tell you something. Of all of the lash styles, maybe about two really shed, and this one is a shedder. This style is very beautiful, but of all the styles that I worked with, I feel like these are the most delicate. I do have a lot of shedding in the box, and I've only worn them one time for the styling photos for SHOPMISSA AOA, and these I feel like handle with extreme care. Now, the actual makeup of the structure of the lash is really nice. We have a lot of like loose kind of strands where we have a little bit of wild, cute, just a lot of single strands kind of put together. So this one, I wouldn't say that there's like a definite shape. It's not too catty for me. It's not too round. It's kind of like a balance. And like I said, this one, handle with care. It is a beautiful look, but if you don't want to be struggling with shedding, this is probably not going to be your go-to. If you love a more wild kind of piecey look, I feel like these are going to be some of your favorites. Next up we have Gaia, and I feel like these are so delicate. If I had to pick a word, I would pick delicate. If you want that like light, fairy, Barbie kind of look on the eyes, not too much, just right. I feel like these are that everyday lash when you want something that's like really light, but it makes your eyes kind of like glow. You know, kind of cartoony. I don't know. These are so delicate and romantic. I just love these. Next up, we have Thalia, and Thalia are the typical cat eye, short and then fans out. These are playful. Even though they're short, I feel like they have the little baby clusters, a little bit of a lash in between those clusters, and they're just beautiful. They're full. I feel like if you want something more flirty, more playful because of the little clusters and chunks, these are going to be cute for date night. Next up, we have Hebe or Hebe. So, side note, we are trying to figure out how to actually pronounce these names because some of them are creative. Anyways, so Hebe, this is the most interesting lash as far as structure. This is a true crisscross kind of pattern where all of it from the beginning all the way to the fan out, I can authentically see that crisscross where they created that beautiful fan, that beautiful crisscross effect. These are delicate, they're piecey, they're just light and fluffy. These have to be some of my favorites for if you want a lighter look but you still want to have some kind of cool pattern to your lash. I feel like these are gonna let your work shine through, and they are just beautiful. Last but not least, in order to complete this category of short but light, is Artemis. This one is a true short to long style lash. These are very cat eye. They have a little bit of the cluster going on, but they are still very fanned out. They are lifted. They're just an easy lash to pop on and give you that catty eye effect without being too much, without being too dramatic, but they are going to give that extra oomph to that look. So starting off, our medium category is our beautiful style Electra. If you remember a collab that Vegas Nate did with Eyelure, these remind me of that beautiful, lashy, but delicate feel. I don't know how to describe it, but you need these in your life. No matter what your eye shape is, this is gonna give you that princess, that like, I don't even know, fairy tale, beautiful. It's full, but it's light and delicate, if that makes sense. You just try them, buy them, thank me later. So next up we have EOS, and these are crisscross pattern, as you can kind of see on the monitor. They are beautiful. They are just long. So these, I would say, come out to about anywhere from 15 to 18 mm at the very midpoint of the eye. So if you're afraid of a longer lash, maybe you're not going to be super into these, but I feel like even with my smaller eyes, if you see the pictures that I styled for SHOPMISSA AOA, I have tiny eyes, guys. These, even the most full styles, I was able to actually wear and balance out and style. So even if you are afraid of a longer lash, maybe starting with something like this would ease you into that longer lash look and see how you feel. But overall, I really enjoy the crisscross pattern. Next up we have Hera. These are super playful, chunky wispies, as you can see. The style is just beautiful. We do have a little bit of a cluster. It is thinner than the other clusters that I've seen on the other lashes, but we still have a little bit of like a wispy, spiky feel. These are super cute, playful. If you want an edgier lash that still gives you a lift, that is on the longer side, these are going to be your favorites. Okay, so this is Antheia, and as you can see, these babies are long. I was a little intimidated by these right here, only because they are probably starting at like 11 mm and fanning out to maybe about 16 to 18 mm. Girl, these were almost in my eyelash, and I was just like trying to like, you know, relax the eye when I was trying to take these pictures. But moral of the story, even with my tiny eyes, I was still able to style them. So if you still want to try a longer lash and you're afraid, I feel like starting with something like this that's fluffier, that's full, is going to give you that maximum lash effect. So I feel like these would be really nice if I'm gonna go with like a smoky eye and I definitely want to like add the drama on the eyes. These are drama lashes, but they're still nice enough to where they're delicate. There is a really nice pattern of crisscross and chunkiness around the band, so they're still light enough to work with. You're still going to get really big lashes, but you're still going to be able to see your work. So they're not going to be just like, you know, heavy umbrellas in your eye, but you're still going to enjoy that lashy feel with that fluffy light effect. Next up, we have our full category, and these are the heaviest, most dramatic ones that I could identify from these 21 styles. So these, even though they are long, I like how they are distributed. So these are going to give you the drama that you're looking for, but we still have that nice piecey design. So these are definitely starting out with like an 11 mm and then fanning out to about 18 mm if I'm correct, and then they're even longer towards the edges. So tip, if you have smaller eyes, I did have to cut off quite a bit from the edge just because it was too much for my little eyes. But if you see the SHOPMISSA A pictures, I was still able to style them beautifully even though they were a longer, more dramatic lash. So if you really love a more dramatic look and you're looking for a lash to kind of match that, I feel like these ones and the next ones coming up for this category are just gonna blow you away, because even though they are more dramatic and full, they are still somehow delicate, and I really enjoy that feature. Next up, we have Achelois, and these are beautiful. They are long, but you do have a short beginning and a fan out. These are very cat-eyed to me, but they are very beautiful. They have that crisscross effect. They are dramatic, but again, somehow delicate and light at the same time. So I feel like if you're into a longer, more dramatic lash, you're definitely gonna love this style. So these next two styles are still in my full category. I just felt like they were short, but packed with lots of drama. So this one is Elpis, and as you can see, we have a lot of chunkiness. So this one is a lot of drama, a lot of chunky, piecey feels. So if you are doing more of a dramatic look, or you just enjoy more drama in their lash, these are going to be some of your favorites. I did enjoy how they were still fluffy, and I had dimension. I had the crisscross effects. So I do enjoy that these are chunky, playful, and definitely a vibe. Last but not least, we have Keres, and these are drama but short. So if you want a very full lash line but you don't want a super long lash, these are going to be it. I want to say that at the beginning middle corner, these are about 10 mm all the way to maybe about 13 mm in the middle, and then about maybe 14 to 15 mm on the outskirts. So these have a really nice short to long, but they're more round in the structure. They're still going to give you that lift, and all of the drama is going to the outside of the eye. If you have a shorter eye like I do, or smaller eyes, you are going to have to cut the outskirts, but you're still going to get a beautiful lift. You're still going to enjoy the style. So these are definitely some beautiful styles for a more dramatic look. All right, so final thoughts, 21 styles. Oh, wow, that was a lot. So behind the scenes, this was a 2-week project of a lot of work, a lot of love, a lot of learning. For a lot of the eye shapes, I feel like we struggle with shopping for actual lashes that are going to look great all the time. And my focus for this styling was no matter what the lash was, it was gonna look amazing. So I am going to provide all the description of sizes and information that I find useful for you as a shopper on the description box below, so that if you you are a beginner and maybe you want to try a medium or a longer lash, that you can have that reference point. But you can also check out my beautiful pictures at the website. This was a love project that took a while, but I was very, very happy with the result, and I hope that you love and enjoy this line as much as I do. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to follow me on all my social media at MUA Karla Trevino, where I share with you makeup tips and tricks, fashion and lifestyle. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you